Okay, Howie Mandel, season 12 is going to premiere on May 30th of America's Got Talent. And this is actually your eighth season on the show. Is it still as fun as season one for you?
More fun. More fun. It's more fun. And I'll tell you why. First of all, I'm the longest lasting member, but I'll tell you why it's more fun. I think that last year and every year it just keeps getting better and better and better. And I think I've always talked about how I think that the viewers all over the world are inspired by what they see the year before. You know, like last year was so exciting to hit a golden buzzer for somebody like Grace VanderWaal, who I think is going to be the biggest star to come out of any of these shows. I think, and this year we're already in the audition stage as I talk to you, to see 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds who are inspired by her that just want to, if not even better than her, if that's even possible. So that's number one, and that goes for the more dangerous acts, crazier acts than we've ever seen. We have a brand new host in Tyra Banks, which is exciting, and she's beautiful and wonderful and smart. But for me, just being back together with that panel, being together with Mel B and Heidi Klum and Simon Cowell is incredibly exciting. But now I'm gonna preface it. You notice if you're looking at me right now, I'm wearing glasses. About 3 months ago, my wife goes, "Did you see that?" And I went, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, when's the last time you've ever been to an eye doctor?" And I'd never been to an optometrist. And apparently I can't see. And this is the first season I'm wearing glasses. So to me, this is like my first season. This is the first year I've actually seen the show. And I'm telling you, as a first-time viewer, it's amazing. So up until this season, I've been doing blind auditions, which works for The Voice, but it's even better to see the show that I've been part of for 8 years. And that's why you'll see I'm wearing them on camera. I'm wearing them now. I had no idea I was blind.
Well, Howie, I was at the finale, the season 11 finale when Grace won. And I have to say, you were so excited. And I'm sure that had a lot to do with the fact that she was basically your contestant. You pushed the golden buzzer for her. Is that something you bragged about to the other judges all season long? Like, hey, mine is going to win. I know, I can feel it.
No, I didn't, but I was excited. And I was excited. I got to tell you, I've never been more excited than I was for Grace. And not only because she won, and this is what we go for, and this is what the show is, and this is what you're going to get this year. It's those moments, you know, those moments when Grace VanderWaal walked onto the stage last year, and you saw a 12-year-old little girl with a ukulele who said that she was going to sing a song she wrote herself. You know, I always, in the past, when Howard Stern was on, we'd argue, and I'd say, listen, ultimately America decides who wins this thing. And it turns into kind of a popularity contest, because who does America like is not necessarily the most talented, because talent is subjective. But if you want to put yourself in a better position, if you sing a song, if you're a singer, and you sing a song that already is like a huge hit and loved by millions, that puts you a couple of rungs ahead. When she started singing her song about "You don't know my name, you don't know who I am, and I don't play by the rules," I mean, yeah, that's like a jaw-dropping moment when you go, how can somebody this young be this articulate and actually speak? And Simon says she's the next Taylor Swift. I thought even bigger than Taylor Swift, because as much as I think Taylor Swift is amazing and incredibly talented, you know, her songs about her relationships don't really relate to me, you know, but everything that Grace VanderWaal sings about does relate to me and a young little girl and a young man and students and parents and everybody, you know, that clay, we can't be molded by other people. It was just this moment of brilliance. So when she won and this got accepted by America, I just said, oh my God, everybody seems to be on the same page. When somebody touches that note, and I'm not talking about a musical note, I'm just saying when their finger's on the pulse of what the world is thinking and how we all are, what an exciting moment. And we have this season, I'm here to tell you that, you know, May 30th on NBC, you will start seeing amazing, inspirational, aspirational, crazy moments that will jaw drop your face, because that's where your jaw You know, it's just, and it never ceases to amaze me, or does always amaze me, that there's an never-ending plethora of people that are out there that have something to share. And listen, we're talking on the internet now, and I spend my life when I'm not doing television on the internet, and it's amazing what's out there. I'm always fascinated by stunts and craziness and wackiness, and the fact is that America's Got Talent kind of is a curator and brings all this to one, you know, delectable piece of entertainment that the whole family could sit around and enjoy. And I'm so thrilled to be a small part of it. I was thrilled to watch it in the first couple of years before I was a judge, and now I'm, you know, now they give me pants and a check, so I'm thrilled.
Speaking of the new season, what does Tyra Banks bring to the show? What can fans expect from her as the host?
She's, to put in my own words, she's fierce. Those aren't my own words; those are her words. But you know what? I think that what was wonderfully surprising, I mean, we all knew that she was beautiful, and we all knew that she was smart, but there's some sort of an incredible compassion, you know, that the hardest thing about our show to be part of is to be somewhat critical and judgmental, and that's my job. But you know, when somebody shows up and they have all their hopes and their dreams, and then you are, if nothing else, honest with them, and the outcome isn't exactly the same, what better place to wander in, you know, being somewhat, you know, somewhat destroyed, to wander into the arms of Tyra Banks. I can't imagine a better place to go when somebody has disappointed me, or I've disappointed myself. And she has that kind of, you know, she is a mom, and she's beautiful, and she's got all those instincts, that kind of that coddling, you know. Nick was an amazing host, and he used to say, I got to be a cheerleader, and I got to be a, you know, a psychologist, you know. And she is a cheerleader, and she's a psychologist, and she's beautiful. And you know, a hug from Tyra Banks will make anybody feel great.
We here at Gold Derby, we love to predict award shows and talk about the Emmys and things like that. I have a bone to pick with the Emmys. The fact that America's Got Talent has not been nominated for the top award of Best Reality Competition Show, I think that's a travesty. How do you feel about that? And what can we do to get the show finally nominated?
You took the words out of my mouth. I don't know what we can do. I mean, when you talk about any of these shows, and I wouldn't besmirch anyone that is doing, because I know how hard it is, but I truly believe, listen, I've been doing this for almost 40 years. I've been in this business, and there is not a better produced, better presented, better, you know, everything about our show is better than I've seen on any other show. And that is, you know, from the way it's lit, to the way our set looks, to the way it's directed, to the way it's hosted. I mean, as you know, people like the Emmys themselves give themselves, and the Academy Awards give themselves Emmys. You know, the fact that even when we go, and before that, it's so deserving, it's so well edited, in the stories and the packages and the music and everything. It tells a story like an Academy Award winning movie about life, about real life, and you're watching people's hopes and dreams come true, and it's done seamlessly. And sometimes when you make things look seamless, people don't realize the value and how much artistry goes into that. But beyond that, you know, when we go live, we're doing 5 Academy Award shows in one night. You know, you look at the Academy Awards, they have a stage which looks somewhat like ours. And then, you know, people are presenting and talking and and you'll get an odd production number, and that we have a huge production number and a stunt every 90 seconds. And it's seamlessly, when we're live, they just change the set and it's not like any of the other shows, which is always music or always dancing. And it's always, we change we'll go from a trapeze artist to an opera singer, to a puppet show, to skaters, to, you know, to the cameras move outside. I mean, it's amazing. And I can't believe that, you know, we have been taken for granted by the Emmy. You know, I'm not in this, and I don't think anybody on our show is in this for the awards, and we're all thrilled to be there. But having been 40 years in this business, and I've done film and TV and live, I have never worked with a better group, a more highly skilled group of directors, producers, artists, entertainers, writers, editors, lighting people, set designers than the people that are on this show. Makeup, costumes, everything. I mean, you look at the journey that some of these people, you see a kid show up and do something, and then by the end of the show, we have what would be considered, an A show that you would see at Radio City Music Hall. The choreography, the costumes, the makeup, the hair, the instrumentation that goes in, how you watch the actual journey from somebody who's been practicing something in their basement and has never seen the light of day to once the America's Got Talent crack team of, experts get their hand on you. You look very different by the finale, and that's not by accident. But apparently, we're overlooked, and, I'm just thrilled. I think the win is to have a job, and the win is to have the biggest audience on television in America watching us each and every year. We are the #1 show, so we win. And if the community wants to recognize us, it's not an accident that all these people gather around the television each and every year. A lot of work and hard sweat goes into this, and it'd be nice to be recognized.
I've loved the show since day one. I have to say, I think over the past 2 or 3 years, the show has gotten better and better and better. And you don't see that a lot.
No, you don't. And that's just like I talked about how the acts that come in are inspired by what they have seen before. So are directors and producers inspired. They go, oh my God, what we did last year? Let's try to do that, but we'll do it more. And we do everything. It's such a, it is a variety show, but there's a variety of everything from packages to, dance numbers, amazing dance numbers, to amazing storytellers. Each of these packages and these our contestants are amazing, beautiful stories. We learn about their lives. We end up caring about them. The way they shoot them, it's so cinematic. I've never seen anything else like that on television. The things that we are able to do, and I have no part of that. I just kind of sit there and comment on what I see.
Mm-hmm. My favorite contestant, I think, of all time is the professional regurgitator. He's someone that you will only see on AGT. You won't see him on any other show, and that's why I really appreciate what you guys are doing. You're bringing in not just the singers, not just the dancers, but this whole community of talented people that don't get to shine anywhere else.
There is, it's so funny because show business and television, the seat of it and where it started was in vaudeville. Before they had television and broadcast, people used to go to variety shows and circus and things like that. And when I was a little kid, and I'm telling you how long I've been around, the biggest thing on television was Sunday night. You'd watch the Ed Sullivan Show. That's what made the Beatles. That's what made Elvis Presley. That's how people knew about all these plate spinners. It's so amazing to me that there isn't any of that left on television. Singing show, you can watch a dancing competition, you can watch a drama. Where is variety? The only place variety exists is America's Got Talent. It's great family entertainment. And if you don't like what you're watching, just sit there for 90 seconds and something you love will be there.
Right.
And the same people are delivering this each and every week. And it just keeps getting better and better and better. It is so thrilling to just be like I keep repeating myself because even talking about it and talking about the people on it and the people I work with is probably the most exciting thing I have done today. And I've done everything from dramatic acting. I was on St. Elsewhere in the 80s to, animation. I did Saturday morning cartoons. I've done movies. I do live, I still do 200 dates a year as a stand-up comic. But this is the one place that keeps me in awe.
Speaking of St. Elsewhere, our editor, Chris Beecham, that's his favorite show of all time. He wants to know, after the X-Files came back and Twin Peaks came back, is there ever going to be a St. Elsewhere revival?
I doubt it because the people really behind it, Bruce Paltrow is no longer with us, and he was the power behind it, Gwyneth Paltrow's father. Denzel, I don't think is interested in coming back, and there, you know, I don't think so. But you know, I didn't realize until I had done it how great it was and what an opportunity that was. But no, I don't think you'll ever see a St. Elsewhere reunion.
Let's talk about Simon Cowell for a second. This is a guy he's known for being brutally honest, and he's known for making people cry sometimes. Is there anything that you can reveal about Simon to kind of get back at him for all the people that he has punished over the years? Is there a secret that he would just hate you for revealing to us right now?
You know, the truth about Simon Cowell is there are no secrets. You know, I think his life is played out of the open. What he's thinking is out in the open, and that's what's been charming, and that's why he has become Simon Cowell. He kind of knows it. I don't think I have any secrets. I was surprised when I got to work with him in how compassionate he is. You know, he really takes this seriously, like in the sense that, you know, I don't think he's been mean and brutal as much. This is his interpretation, as much as he's been honest. You're asking him to judge. He's judging. He was somebody who was a star maker. He was somebody who's in the music business. If you look at Billboard right now, you know, usually he's got at least one or two of the, you know, in the top 100 or top 10. And there's a reason for that, because when you walk in, this is a brutal business. He'll tell you that. But what you don't see is as soon as the cameras go off or we go to commercial, if somebody seems to be taking it hard, he's the first one to jump out of his seat and go, listen, I didn't, and don't give up. I'm just being honest with you. And he's incredibly compassionate and doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And that's not what he's about. He's about, and when you think about it, if you went into the business, and anybody goes into any kind of business, especially show business, what an opportunity it is to have somebody who is really traditionally an expert and a star maker to give you their advice. You know, don't take it as criticism as much as take it as advice, you know, and it is his opinion. And anybody in this business has taken tons and tons of rejection. And if you can't take rejection and you can't take negativity, you should not be in this business. And that's demonstrated by, you know, if people hear what he has to say and they go and they're broken and they give up, then you know what? He's actually done them a service, because they should not be in this business, because this business puts you, you know, I'm sure that when as people watch this, they'll be in the comments section. There'll be everything from what they think of what I say to what they think of how I look. And that's just part of putting yourself out there. And what they don't do, and that Simon does, is he'll come up and give you a big hug after and say, I'm sorry, you know, I'm just being honest, and that's what you want to hear from me. You don't want me to lie to you. And he cares about animals. You know, God forbid he thinks an animal is not being treated properly when they're, you know, he will go up and make sure that animal is, you know, cared for, and wanting to be on the stage, and how there is so much compassion, but nobody hired him, or he didn't put himself out there to show the compassionate side. He went out there. He's out there on stage as the consummate professional. But he's also incredibly silly. He's incredibly funny. And it was the biggest surprise of my life, because I didn't know what to expect when I got to work with him. And he makes the job more enjoyable than it's ever been.
Well, final question, Howie. You are the longest running judge on the show. How much longer do you think this is something you would want to do? I mean, you're at eight seasons now, right?
I am at 8 seasons. I would like to do it until they stop inviting me back. You know, I feel like this is a privilege, and I love being there. And I love, you know, I've talked about this before, but I'm always watching, you know, I'm always on the internet. I love great entertainment. I love horrible entertainment. I show up at, you know, after I do concerts, I'll find like a club where people are, you know, it could be a jazz, but I love any kind of entertainment. I watch channels that aren't English. I don't really know what's going on. I'm fascinated by people getting up and doing things. And I don't tire. Some of the days in the auditions, we could sit there to 14 hours, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm still not ready to go home. I could watch more. I just consume that, love that, and, you know, addicted to that.
Well, we will remind everyone to watch AGT season 12. It's coming on May 30th. And well, thanks for chatting with us, Howie.
My pleasure. Thank you. Bye.